Hi everyone, Teresa Aker here from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. It's my pleasure to introduce you today to Wassim Hawat. How you doing, Wassim?
Thank you. I'm well. How are you?
I'm so excited to have you here. That makes my day great. So, what you're going to recognize Wassim from so many wonderful things in the industry and television. I want to go through it all, and let's talk about your journey, Wassim. How did it all get started? How did you get into acting?
Oh, it's a long story. Obviously, I'm gonna have to summarize it. But I grew up obviously watching action movies. So my heroes are, this is probably typical, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold, Van Damme, Bruce Lee, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino. So I grew up watching these guys and as a little kid imitating them and driving my mum nuts probably. But sadly, I really didn't get into acting and filmmaking till later in life. So I didn't really pursue it as a kid or anything. I just had a strong interest. But yeah, I really didn't pursue it till kind of much older in life. It was just a scary thing for me. And I grew up, I had great parents, but my parents were probably like many parents, didn't want me to pursue it because it's not your kind of typical job, and it's a very obviously tough industry, and they just didn't want to see me get hurt, so they pushed me to get into the typical 9 to 5, etc., which sadly I did. And then it just made sense, and then I made the decision to pursue that, which yeah, now I still am.
Yeah, you've done a great job. And you're from Australia?
Yes, Sydney.
Yes. Oh, Sydney. Okay, great. And so you grew up there and now you're going to venture into the industry. So, what was your first project where you realized this is it? I've got it. I've caught it. This is what I want to do.
Look, it was very nerve-wracking because I never really studied filmmaking or acting like I did when I decided I wanted to do it. So I only did a few workshops here in Sydney. So I never really went to a school or a college for a couple of years. For example, here everyone typically goes to NIDA, where they study professional acting. So I was mindful of I was older, so I wasn't 15 or 16 years
Yeah,
old,
exactly.
where I had all the time of my life. So I was much older. So I was, what's the word? I was conscious of time and my age.
Oh, no,
So,
I get it.
but the good thing is I did have a lot of life experience, which I think helped me. And also, I'm a very curious person. Even as a kid, I was ridiculously curious about a lot of things, especially human behavior. And I was very obsessed with watching movies. That helped. And I did a few workshops and some good ones. And then I decided to get an agent, and I did many auditions, still do. So that's really how it happened.
Oh, okay. Talk to us about some of your early works. Talk about what you've done.
Oh, look, I auditioned heaps, but I got roles, even non-speaking roles, like featured extra, and I did extra work because I was very scared to speak. Yeah, but also I wanted to understand and learn acting. I didn't want to. Obviously, this industry you learn, it's really ruthless, as I say, because once you have that opportunity, if you kind of stuff it up, you don't really get a second chance. So I
Yeah.
knew that. So I did a lot of extra work where I was just watching filmmakers, I was watching the process, I was watching actors do their thing. And then I had the guts to step up into featured role, non speaking also. But again, I was really watching. I was on TV sets, I did commercials, and I did film where I really watched. And then as I grew, my skill set grew and my craft, and I was confident. And then I think I got a better agent. I was surfing around when I was ready for an agent to do speaking roles. And then I got into kind of really popular TV shows. It's popular in Australia. I don't know. So there's Home and Away, which is the soap opera. And on my IMDb, more popular Australian TV show. But again, I wasn't a lead or a support. It was more guest roles.
But you have to start somewhere, right?
You got to start somewhere, which I really did enjoy. I was very nervous in that, but then as I worked, auditions was great because auditions were like I was exercising constantly my craft.
Sure.
But also like at home, I would. This may be funny, but in a workshop, we had this really funny teacher, and he'd always say, "Go play with yourself."
That's always good advice.
And I really, honestly, I really didn't understand it. And then I understood it. Obviously, at home is where really an actor does his homework. You get comfortable. So I really did some weird stuff at home, like talking to the chair, talking to the wall, pretending there's people there. And I got comfortable weirdly
Sure.
doing that. And I'd rehearse my lines with friends and yeah, so that really helped. And then when you go on set, and obviously the more auditions you do, the more you're on set, the more confident, the more you understand the industry more. And that's how it really happened. That jumped into TV shows, and I did a lot of commercials and also smaller roles in films, and got into some bigger films. And then I decided at some point to venture. I'm still very interested much in acting, but I've ventured into more filmmaking,
Yeah.
which really excites me. So I didn't want to be just in the process of just acting. I wanted to see how you make a film. So we got together, me and a good friend of mine, Rodney Mansell, and we did that was our first project together, which was the Sound Eye. Small film, 40-minute film, but anyone that watches it will see the complexity of the story and the character. And obviously I star in it, but also it's like a long music video which is narrated, so it's not really dialogue. Anyone will watch will understand. So we had some really great reviews on IMDb. So if you go on IMDb, or anyone that goes on IMDb will see the reviews. They've been phenomenal. But we really did work hard on that film. So we wrote it together. Me and Rodney here had the original idea. We developed it together. We directed it together. We produced it together. And I starred in it. And it was a really fun first adventure into making a film project with my friend Rodney. So once that was finished, now we're currently developing a feature film, me and my friend Rodney, because we had so much fun making the previous one, which is called Emanate, which we are developing. And yeah, I probably left out a lot of information, but that's in summary kind of where I've got to right now.
Yeah, because we want to talk about where you are right now, what you're currently doing. Now, first, would you be able to, after our interview, send me some trailers of some of the things that you'd like to bring forward? Because I like to be able to promote everybody on here. And then we do want to talk about your works right now. It sounds like you like the filmmaking better, not better, but it really is your sort of raison d'etre. You really like that. So let's concentrate on that area. Where do you see yourself going with the film industry as a filmmaker?
Yeah, look, I always, as kind of I was developing, it made sense to me. So actors like Tom Cruise, for example, who's a producer actor,
Yeah.
and also one of my favorites, Gerard Butler, who's you see these guys do acting, and then once they reach some sort of success, and then they become producers, actors, and that's really how I saw myself. So I never saw myself really directing much because my strength was really I'm very business minded, but also creative. So once I
Okay.
understood the industry, I always saw myself as a producer, an actor. Why? Because I thought as a producer, I could hire the people that I want, and
So
also
again,
and
well,
also
I'm
I
going to ask you with
story.
you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the reason deliberately I wanted to do that because I could either co-direct or either I can get a director that I know or I get along with, and it sounds a bit selfish, but on my terms, I wanted to tell a specific story or allow to produce a film allows me to collaborate. Um,
Okay.
if I wanted to do a certain story, but also I could create a character that other filmmakers or other castings, if I create a character for myself, a complex character, it's an opportunity for me to venture in that character rather than being pigeonholed or being, oh, we want you to play that role because we think you're good at that,
Oh,
which is fine.
sure.
But I guess you know yourself. So I guess the stories that I wanted to tell have specific characters, which I believe I won't be cast unless I create that particular character and story, which I did, which we did in the Sound Eye. and in the film Emanate, which works out well for me. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So the production really is what you love. And I can understand that. Your creativity can shine. As you said, you can work with people you like to work with. And actually, you probably have a future of creativity. You can do anything you want. You're not pigeonholed. I like that too.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
gives me the freedom, but also because me and my friend, I call him a friend and a collaborator. So we worked so well together on the sound eye that we're developing Emanate together. Again, we wrote the story together, we producing it together, we're directing it together, and it's such a joy doing it. And I think I found my partner in crime because in this industry, it's very hard to find that collaborator that you want to tell the same story, but also you're on the same page and there's no conflict, which is very strange. As I said, we worked well together. We had so much fun, but also we believe we did such good work. It's really because I don't know how to explain it. We just work. He just really understands me as an actor and a producer. And he comes from editing, cinematography background. So I've learned a lot from him and he's learned a lot from me. So that's why we decided to make this feature film Emanate together, which is a complex psychological thriller. And it's been a joy writing the script with him and collaborating, and we're having so much fun. So now we're in a pre-production phase, and we're casting, and we're really doing everything together. And we're really hands-on in production design. We've got a really great DOP on board. We've got great actors. We've got a great little crew. So it's a small, really indie film, and I'm really having fun because it's our venture.
Oh, yeah. And do
Yeah.
you like psychological thrillers? Is that kind of your thing? That's
Look,
where you
I love psychological thrillers and I love action films, but I thought I love action films from the 70s and 80s and 90s, but I'm too scared to touch them because one, you need a proper budget, and two, like I wouldn't scare away from doing all the explosions and all that stuff. And you need a lot of experience and you need the stunts and big crew, and that obviously comes with a budget. The good thing about psychological thriller is very character driven, and because we're indie, we're able to be resourceful in many things, not necessarily needing big money, if that
yeah.
makes any sense. Yeah,
A lot of they have mini series where they can do in a town and you see the thriller kind of done in that one area and they don't need that big panoramic kind of view. You can do it quite simply, but with the right music and the right background, the right actors, you can really make it exciting, can't you?
absolutely. Funny enough, and I don't shy away. So most of the film will be shot in an apartment, which is my apartment, to save money.
Oh, fantastic. I
But
have
it
a lot of people that do
works.
horror movies on my
Yeah,
show. I've had a few producers, directors, and they do horror shows. And they're saying, Teresa, sometimes we're in one trailer and we do change the scenes and it's all in the same place. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And they could shoot it in a weekend, right?
yeah, yeah.
So
That's
it's
that.
exciting that you can do that.
Oh, absolutely. Look, like I find I love indie filmmakers because I think they're the ones really are resourceful because you don't need, a Hollywood budget to make a film, but you really need the right people. You really need the right frame of mind. But you also got to be very resourceful. And I believe we are on this project because I've got a very good DOP and I've got a nice little crew. And I believe we've got some really good actors. So me and my friend Rodney are really driving this project. So the location we've got, which is my apartment, really works also for the story. We've made that work. And there's a bit of production design. I obviously let out the secret. It's my apartment. But the thing is, with our ideas and collaboration with
Yeah.
the team, our little team and the production design, we're able to tweak my apartment to make it look cinematic for that purpose of that story and that character.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter that it's your apartment or a trailer or wherever it is, wherever you
Yeah.
can find it. It's the artistry that you put together. And like you said, Rodney and you work well together. And I love that. The collaborations that you put together, fantastic. I want to ask you too, when you're doing your projects, is it you both have ideas down the road you put together, or where do you get the ideas from? Is this something that you've had? Are these projects you've had in the works for a while or?
Yeah, absolutely. So the sound I think, as I said, the original idea was Rodney.
Okay.
And then we collaborated and we made it into something beautiful, I believe. Now, Emanate the original idea is mine, but again, it would have not flourished if it wasn't for Rodney. So
Yeah,
that's why I say it's a great experience for me and him, because he had the opportunity to come up with an idea, and then together we made it into a story. And likewise with Emanate, obviously it takes time to come up with ideas, but I pitched an idea to him and he loved it, and then we wrote it together. It took a while,
sure.
but now the script is pretty much finalized and we're very happy with it. And we've sent it to a few people, agents, and so far the feedback's been great. And we've got some established actors on board. So I've got local actors, obviously from Sydney, and I've got probably two established international actresses which love the project. My DOP works in Australia and overseas, and she loved the project. So yeah, it's been a blessing, to be honest.
Now you're in Australia. We've established that. Are you venturing out anywhere else right now, or you're staying right where you are right now?
I've I've got a filmmaker in New York that we became fond of each other.
Okay.
And there's a couple of projects on IMDb, which there's probably about two projects or three that I'm attached to, more from an actor perspective.
Oh, okay.
But this director, I've auditioned for him many times, and some projects fell over. But nevertheless, he loved what I did, and he loved the details and my passion. And then, yeah, he's now I've got a few projects on the line, and I'd love for you to be part of. And I think one, I'm not sure exactly where, but it might be in Morocco, which is exciting.
Oh, nice.
Got another project which he's scouting locations, and he said, "No, you don't need to audition. You've auditioned enough for me, and I can see your skill set." And because he knows now, I guess my skill set, he's placed me in certain characters, and he's, "Oh, you happy with that?" And yeah, he's very nice. He sent me the script, and there's a few characters. You let me know which suits you, but I think that would suit you if you can read it and let me know. So it's sweet. But also there's another project which I'm very excited about. It's called Space Goblins.
Space
Um,
goblins?
yeah.
Okay.
So that will be shot, I believe, in the UK and in UAE. And the filmmaker there is such a great, passionate guy. So I'm playing a bounty hunter, space goblin, which you wear a mask and everything. But this, because of my martial arts skills, which I've sent a lot of videos to the director, and he loved it. And he goes, "Can we adopt that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." So we're picturing these. It's a brotherly story. So two bounty hunters. One's kind of really big, tall, i.e. me, and there's another guy who's, I don't know, 3 foot or 4 foot. And you got the action guy and you got the big mouth kind of guy, and they're bounty hunters tracing out. It's quite fun. So
Oh,
that's on the horizon for me as an actor.
sure.
So I'm pretty excited because I've got a few projects being cast as an actor, but also I'm working on a project as an actor, writer, producer, director,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
which is awesome for me. Yeah.
yeah, because the more you have in your toolbox and the more creative you can be, the
Oh,
better.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get to see it. So I always think, one, you're all so talented. I've had some, just like yourself, very talented people. But it's nice to, if even if you're an actor, to get behind the lens and see what the director needs and the producers and how it all comes together so that you can really fit into the role and understand where the rest are coming from. Would that make sense?
Absolutely. That's exactly how I approach it. And now being on both sides of the
Yeah.
fence, there's projects where I'm just an actor. But the thing is, because I have such great relationship with those directors,
Right.
I offer so much to them in terms of character specifics. But also, I'm the kind of guy that likes to give options. I can do this and I can do that. And I think the character would do this and would do that. And they're very open to that. But also, I'm listening to them because being also working on my project as the filmmaker, but also an actor. So I understand both sides of the fence. So that's what I can offer to them, and they can see that.
Perfect. Now, Wasim, let's say it's 5 years out. Where do you see yourself? What's your goal for that?
Wow. To be honest, really continue on this venture, making films, but also I want to make them on a probably a bigger scale if I'm blessed, but also continuing on with my connections that I have. And obviously, if they make, see where their career at. And I guess I've made such connections with them. When they make a bigger movie, I'm hoping to be part of that. And
Oh,
if
sure.
my other contact makes a bigger movie, I'm part of that. And maybe at some point, I'd love to be in a partnership with them. And I'm like, oh, if you want to make this movie, can we maybe develop this project together? And that's really where I want to be at, kind of establishing my connections, but also partnerships with them and just making bigger scale projects, whether it's a thriller, whether it's action, but also developing my own passion projects with my current collaborator. And really, it's really just about diversing and I guess expanding my horizon. And that's what excites me.
That's fantastic. I know I could tell you're passionate about it, and I just love that. No, it's because I think, isn't it true? Once you find something you love, you just want to stay with it. You just love it. You want to do it forever, and that's it.
Absolutely. It's the best feeling, like when you love something. And I never have any regrets, but I guess the journey for me made sense because when I started it, I was obviously much older, but it made sense because I had more confidence. If I started as a young actor, I think I would have failed because I didn't have the confidence. It wasn't the right time. I guess when I matured, that helped me because I've gone through life, some ups and downs, and
Yeah.
that really in because I believe I'm a complex person as it is, so I'm able to play complex characters because of what I've been through. Obviously, we've migrated. So I wasn't born in Australia, Sydney. So I've migrated, which also is good because that really made my childhood kind of complex, coming from a different country, learning a different language, growing up. And as I said, ups and downs growing up. That really helped, honestly, because if those things, which I'm very grateful for, if those things didn't happen to me, I believe I would be a very one-dimensional human being.
Right.
Right now, I'm very multi-dimensional because of those ups and downs. And I guess, as they say, you really don't know your horizon until you've been to multiple dimensions. So if I didn't hit rock bottom, I wouldn't know what failure is. And I guess working your way up I feel, is the best. Being the underdog is the best thing because you really know, you know, your friends. You really know who's with you on that journey. You really know your enemies. And then you flourish. You develop yourself. And I guess the best thing is when you hit rock bottom, and you work your way and you learn. You learn about having thick skin, but also rejections in this industry, having thick skin and just really not taking no for an answer, which is what kind of person I am. I guess if I didn't have that, if I had been fed everything, I probably would have not reached where I'm at now because if I get rejected, I probably would cry and be soft about it. Oh, no, I want to, because I've really seen it. And without
Yeah.
mentioning any, very sad, I've seen a lot of friends, a
Yeah.
lot of people who've started acting and they've quit because it's very disheartening, the rejections, it's tough, and it is. But for me, I don't really look at what's the next step. I look at the long goal. And I've always, again, through the struggles, I've learned to be thick skinned, take no for an answer. If you close that door, I will climb through the window. If you close the window, I'll climb through the roof. That's the person I am. And I believe you have to be like that to be in this industry. Like you have to be. You can't be like, sorry to say, you can't really be soft. You really have to fight very hard for what you really believe in.
I think 100% Wasim. You have to have in any kind of media, you have to have tenacity. You have to know that there's going to be ups and downs. I actually started this talk show about adversity, people who overcame adversity and came to the other side and are successful. But we only hear about the success. We never hear about the journey, which is what I really wanted to bring to people. And you hit it right on the nail. If you don't have the downs, the ups don't mean the same. It's the climb, isn't it? It's the journey. It's not
Yeah,
always
absolutely.
the destination.
I agree. Any person you hear stories about people that climb Mount Everest, and they say, I think Brad Pitt, I loved his advice, and he's always saying that it's the journey, not the destination.
It's
You know,
true.
and hearing all these guys, everyone knows obviously Al Pacino's story, how he got the Godfather,
Yeah.
and you see these guys that are great reach the top, but look at the struggles and look at the ferocity they went through, and it's very inspiring. And that's really what I get my inspirations from, is listening to these stories. And I'm like, these guys are like us. They're human beings. The only difference is these guys are very persistent and they strongly believe. And I guess believing, as simple as that sounds, is really your greatest ally. Because if you don't believe in yourself, like really no one else will. That's the way it is. Yeah.
Great words, honestly, terrific words. And that's exactly what this is all about. So thank you for that, Wassim. I wanted to ask you, I know you're doing a lot of projects right now, and we want to get you out there and add and help however we can to keep you promoted. I
Yeah.
know you'll send over whatever you have in trailers, but I saw IMDb, you're definitely on that. Are you on a lot of, I saw you on Facebook. Are you on all the social medias?
So I'm basically just on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram, which I believe I've sent you the link. So I've sent you also the Sound Eye trailer, which has been receiving a lot of good reviews.
Yeah.
I've sent you the film, which I've already put on my social media, Instagram and Facebook. And right now we've got a distributor, so potentially could be on Amazon and various streaming. So we're going through that process. But right now it's currently on Vimeo, which I've sent you the link.
Yeah, I got all, thank you. I did get the links that you've already sent me. And I just
Yeah.
wanted to know if you had anything else in your coming up that you send me those as well, because I'll always promote you, Wassim. That's
Yeah, I appreciate that. And obviously, yeah, me and my friend, we do our currently the project that we're developing emanate. So we haven't done obviously our trailer yet. We're far ahead, but we've just done a concept poster, and I've had some great. So we've had a chat with an actress recently. I'm not sure if you know her. She's quite big, Rhiannon Fish. So
oh,
currently she joined the cast, and I'm so excited about that.
oh, I bet.
Very excited, and we've had such a lovely chat. Me, her, and my friend Rodney. She's playing a pretty complex character, which I think she'll nail it. And there's also another actress, British actress, love her. We've got a great relationship. She's playing my mother in the film. Her name's Hannah Waterman. So she's part of the cast. We've got some great people. I'm
Nice.
so happy. Yeah, so happy.
You know what? I'm thrilled that you're doing all of this. I wonder down the road, would you like to come back and do another episode with me when you've got the other ones launched and ready to go? Would that be all right?
Yeah.
And
Oh, that
any
would be
of your partner, Rodney, and any of your actors, if they want to come on, I'm always happy to promote them, Wassim.
absolutely. We've got a publicist on this project recently. So at some point, once we release the trailer and I finalize the cast and we filmed it, absolutely, I want to, yeah, yes, the publicist will do their thing. And if we get a distributor, when we get a distributor, but absolutely, I like to do some self promotion, not obviously not just me. For me, I care about the film, especially this passionate project. I care about every project that I'm in, but this one, the Sound Eye and the current project, they're the two projects I find me and Rodney have worked so hard on it. They're just, yeah. So I want to do some, what do you call it? Some ruthless promoting.
Yeah,
I want to really watch those films because there's so much effort and work has gone into it. People, I know the sound by a lot of people that have seen it, friends, family, people that
yeah,
I know, fans overseas, even festivals. They've all were really impressed with the film, and I was so happy about it because if you ever watch it, you'll see the complexity, the music, you can see the character, you can see the work that's been put in, and that's how we are. That's why I like working with Rodney because he's such a very sophisticated guy, eye for detail, and that's how I work. And we don't let anything miss. And you'll see it in the story. It's
I
very
watched
complex.
what I watched some of what you've already sent me, and boy, you're so creative, honestly. So kudos to both you and Rodney. You're going to go so far. And you say you started later, but you still look so young. Like this is your calling, Wassim. It's keeping you young.
Oh, like honestly, yeah. If I didn't do it, honestly, I would have no idea what I would do. I'd probably be very depressed. This really lights me up. Like
Yeah,
if I'm watching a movie, I'm lit up. If I'm talking to someone about movies, I'm lit up.
yeah.
It doesn't be talking about me or a project, but anything in this industry really lights me up because story, to me, I find one of my favorite messages is watching a film, whether if you watch a really good film, there's always a message. A psychological thriller, an action film like The Hero, the bad guy always dies. obvious ones, but also when you watch horror and psychological thrillers, there's always an underlying message, whether you learn from the character, whether you learn from the story. And to me, my favorite two things is music and film. That's
Oh, very good.
that's I guess the strongest messages or healing I find for me is music and watching movies. Like if I'm depressed, if I listen to music, it's amazing how
Let's see.
quickly I become so happy. And watching a movie, like, yeah, it's just incredible feeling. So I hope I can one day do that through my stories. Because when I watch the great movies, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm incredibly moved by those movies. My dream, I'm inspired so much by these movies. I hope one day I could inspire people. That's really the goal for me.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're inspiring so many people already, but I honestly, I know your works are really good, and I'm looking so forward to seeing the completed projects that you and Rodney have. And oh my goodness, I would love to have you come back, and I'll help you however I can. How's that?
Oh, look, very much appreciate it. And
Sure.
obviously at some point I do, because my contact is in New York. So at some point I'll be out in New York or LA once the movie's finished. And obviously I want to promote it. So maybe at some point, I don't know, I can invite you if we have a screening.
I would love
US.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
up here
So
in Canada, but we're right across the pond, not the pond across Lake Ontario. That's where New York is. It's not far from me. And I'll tell you what, I'm about 20 minutes from a place called Parkwood here, where a lot of movies were filmed, like the X-Men and Murdoch Mysteries, a lot of places. I don't know if I'm sure you know the X-Men.
of course, yeah.
It was filmed right here, part of it.
You,
It had
Aussie.
a lot are filmed right here in Canada. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I know Canada is a very popular place. Speaking of Canada, our actress Rhiannon Fish, she's Canadian
Oh, fellow Canadian.
and she lives in Canada.
Oh,
Sorry. Where does she live in? She lives in Vancouver, I think.
oh, Vancouver, sure, out in BC.
Yeah,
I'm in Ontario. I'm just outside of Toronto, and she's out in BC then. And you know
yeah.
what, Hannah? We have a lot of great talent that is here, moved all over. And I have met so many nice people from Australia. You have no idea, Wasim. I'm not kidding you, from authors to actors and producers like yourself and all kinds of I've met people in Iceland. So this is an amazing platform for all over the world to help promote each other, and I will absolutely, I'm looking forward to seeing all your work.
No, I really appreciate it. And it's honestly, it's
Thank you.
lovely chat. Like,
Oh, thank
uh,
you so much. I really
yeah,
truly appreciate it. I I know you're on IMDb. I'm going to make sure all of your information is in the show notes here. I thank you again, Wasim. It was my pleasure truly to have you on today. And to
honestly,
everyone,
it's
go
my
over to
pleasure.
thank
Yeah,
you, my friend. Everyone, go over to Wasim's. I'm going to have all his information on the show notes. I'm going to have everything that he's talked about today. Already have some of the trailers, and anything else, I'm going to make sure we promote it, and then you'll be able to see it. And anything coming out, Wasim, I'll be looking for that, okay? So we can get that. To everyone else, this is Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. Do subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate that. I hope you're having a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye now.